Aloha, phenomenal phoenixes. Oh, let me put my face up in here. All right, aloha. Today we're going to work on how do you show division with tiles. This is a really powerful thing because as I look at these algebra tiles, they're going to help you so much with algebra, guys. I'm telling you, eventually, I'm not joking. Eventually, you're going to be able to like look at stuff like this. Um, if you stick with me, you're going to be able to like solve stuff like this, like algebra 2 level stuff. Because remember, we're sticking to algebra tiles to help you visually so that you can move things with your eyes, with your hands. If you want to, I'm going to try to chase down some blocks, some algebra tile blocks. But we have this interactive right here to help us. And we also have our drawing paper to help us. So I just want to introduce you to the concepts. And I want to give you a chance to explore it too. Maybe you have some better tricks. But let me show you how we might take on division in with our algebra tiles. So let's look at something like 48 divided by 6, for example. The very most basic way to look at this, I'm going to show you just a couple quick ways to do this, and then I'm going to show you that generally there's going to be 2 approaches that I'll show. But if you find your own approach, it's beautiful. Just kind of get the sense, the idea, the concept of what I'm teaching you. There's not like a set kind of way. And this all goes back to the most important thing of what we learned last unit, which is how to read this. Okay. The way to read this is that I have $48, 48 pizzas, whatever, and I am sharing it with 6 people. Or I have 48 pizzas and everybody gets 6 pieces or pizzas, and the answer will be how many people are sharing it. Remember the answer. So remember that, the answer, which is 8, I'll show you in a second, but this can either mean that there's 6 pizzas everybody gets and there's 8 sharing, or it could mean there's 6 sharing that 48 and everybody gets 8 pizzas. These two are interchangeable, but there's times it doesn't make sense. Like when we looked at that in our fractions in our last unit. Okay, that's the most important thing to get. So then how can I show this with algebra tiles? Well, I'm going to be real smart. If I know my times tables, this is easy. Okay, but we're going to assume that you don't. So if we don't, maybe you can't count by 6s, but you sure can count by 2s, and you want to get to 48. So here's what I'll do. I'll do like 2, 4, 6, 8, 12. And then I'm like, wait a second. If I do that again, I'll have 24. So I'll do that again. There, that's 24. Wait, if I double 24, I have 48. And so let's just make 4 more of those rows, and I should have 48, right? Because 4 is giving me 24. So 2, 3, wait. There we go. There is 48. Now, unfortunately, we can't like draw on the screen, because what I would love to do is just kind of like make like a tic-tac-toe and have like 6. I could have like 6 areas, right? And I could be like, all right, and just distribute evenly into each of these 6 areas. But I do not have these hash marks, so I got to be kind of like a little bit creative. So one idea is to make like six areas, perhaps. I'll make like 6 distinct areas. Now, one trick I want to show you is, remember, guys, you can grab like a big chunk of these at once, and check it out with my arrow button. Oh, I just duplicated. Damn, keep doing that. Make sure you're on move. Make sure you're on move. Then you can grab a big chunk, and then using your arrow button, you can kind of like more centralize them. And then like more quickly, you can be like, all right, here we go. Gonna make sure everybody's right. Or you can make guesses. Like it's like, all right, everybody's got 2. Everyone's gonna have a lot. So let me make sure that everybody has like at least 6. And I'll highlight this one, and I'll be like, boom, 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 boom. There you go. There's 6 over there. And then you guys, you get 6 over there. And then I'm going to highlight these four. And I'm going to use my arrow buttons to put you over there. And there's 3. Let me grab 3 more to make sure I have 6. All right. And all right, so I can see that there are 8 in every group, and that's how I get my answer. Now, by the way, you if you remember that division is just the inverse of multiplication, what you can do also is you could just count by 6s, right? You could just go 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you wanted to, just keep building up to 48. 12, 18, 24. 24. So I just got double that. I'm going to make 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 48. And so there's 6 in every row, and then there's 8 rows. So how much is in? So the answer is 8. There's 8 rows with 6 in each row. And so how much is in each column? There's 8. All right. So you could get it as quickly as that on this machine if you wanted to, if it works out evenly. In a few lessons, you're going to see it doesn't always work out evenly, and we'll see what to do with that. But look, we could also use headings. So if you remember, the last time we looked at using these right, having like a rectangle, 4, 5, 6, and using it as a heading. Remember, kind of thinking like, all right, I'm going to have a rectangle in here. I'm going to fit all my pieces, and this heading means I'm going to have like 6 rows, and then the columns up top here will tell me what goes in each of those rows. So we're going to stick with that concept. And I want to know which one kind of resonates with you. For both, I want you to do both in the upcoming examples, but I also want you to think about which way works best for you. And you won't know right now. You're going to have to look at more complicated stuff to really know what's your best. But here we go. All right. So I want to get 48 in the middle. So I can do the same thing I did before, which is like, I know I'm going to have 6 columns and I got to have a certain amount in them, probably a lot. So you can just kind of keep building this until you get to 48. And if you don't know your times tables, you can just count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh, at this point, I'm like, wait, that's 24. I just need to double it. There's 4 columns of that. So I need to make sure there's 4 more columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 48. Now, the answer is going to be this heading up here. It's going to be this heading up here. So 1 times 1 is 1. And obviously, you just continue this pattern from there. So this, again, this right here, this is the answer. This is 8. Okay, I have what's being divided is right here, and it's being divided into this length right here of 6, where I have 6 rows, and then my width of this rectangle, which is composed of 8 columns. So there's 6 rows with 8 in each of them. And that's how you get this right here. All right, there we go.